We grew as people, but the things that just in terms of like comedy, like, it hadn't changed that much. Like in terms of like what we thought was funny.
I think we should start with a hug. I think that's what
Okay.
we gotta start.
All right.
We gotta start with a hug.
Do we have to be like this really awkward low hug?
Yeah, with the butts out like this. No.
Yep.
And that was just a product of me having been over at my dad's and I saw he had a webcam and I'd never seen anyone with a webcam before. I'd never seen a webcam in person before.
Your dad's a secret cam model before it was cool.
He was a cam girl.
Yeah.
And we used that to create our first video. I don't think that I really talked to my parents during that time. It was just smosh, eat, and shit. That was it.
And occasionally kiss a girlfriend.
Yes, when she wasn't angry at me because I spent 80 hours working on Smosh and not paying any attention. So,
yeah. And you had a vlog channel for a second.
And a fucking vlog. And then
So you get home and then you'd have to do daily
vlogs.
Oh my God. Sorry, I probably shouldn't do that for your channel.
No,
I can do that for a Smosh channel.
I think that was very appropriate
Yeah.
for that moment. And our friendship started deteriorating as well.
What friendship?
I tried to get you to leave with me for a bit, but I could tell that you
I don't
wanted to
think
stay.
I don't think you tried that hard.
I didn't try that hard. You said I don't want to, and I said okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
we're
I
not
just-
even that great of friends anyway. So
Well,
by that point,
yeah.
leaving Smosh did not go well for me at first.
It was a little cringe.
Oh,
It was a little cringe.
Okay. And we've never talked about this part.
No.
Yeah, I was floundering around, not knowing what I was supposed to do.
Okay, I wouldn't say it was like that. I'm just nagging you.
It was pretty cringe.
It wasn't like.
Look, it was very clear what was going. Like I could see very clearly like what you were doing and like what was going on. It was very clear that you were trying to find your individual creative voice. And with the types of videos you were putting out, it felt very much like you throw this out and see if that would stick. You throw that out, see if that would stick. You get excited about something. I could tell like there was like a time when I think you were watching like Nathan For You and you were getting excited about this one kind of like style.
Damn,
I
you
could
read me
tell,
like a
like-
book.
Well, I mean, it was clear. It's like.
But like I remember I walked by you or like we saw each other in like the lobby of a hotel at VidCon. I think I was wearing the shirt that shirt right there.
Oh.
I was wearing my interview shirt and you're like, oh, what are you doing? You're gonna go interview? And I felt this little sense of judgment about what I was doing. I was like, whoa, we've never talked about what I do at all anyway. But I felt this resentment that you have.
Well, I'll tell you what the resentment was.
What? I've never heard this before.
No, yeah. I feel like this is gonna turn into a Maury episode.
This is why we came here.
Even though we've like changed as people, and you got more bling and more tattoos, like we still like.
Hey, you got a little bling too. Let's not
same.
discount it.
I know your boy got a chain now.
Baby's first
What?
chain. The baby's first chain. And you got face bling too.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
True. In that sort of role. And I think like with you and I, like we had this level of trust and we had this ability to like bounce ideas off of each other. When you left, I didn't necessarily have that same level of trust. Like I was on an island.
I was able to just fully laugh, or you were even able to fully joke. So
No.
I think that was probably the biggest difference with that hang itself is
It helped to have mediators too, because then it wasn't this.
there wasn't
Because
any
we weren't
pressure.
ready for this.
Yeah, it was the first time that we were able to really fully connect, and I think that was when I realized like, oh shit. I'm gonna cry a little bit. I was like, wow. And we never even expressed emotions to each other, so this is great.
I still won't.
Okay, good. I was like, my childhood friend that I grew up with is still here, you know?
Yeah.
I thought that our relationship had evolved so far away from that. I thought you had changed. I thought I had changed too much.
Yeah.
That I thought that it was just no going back, but seeing that we were still there at our core.
Yeah.
You know, that the foundation of what makes us who we are, you know, what we developed in our child, that sense of humor, the way that we connected when we were younger, and that project in 6th grade, just one-upping each other and just enjoying that feeling
Yeah.
that we then recreated with Smosh for so many years, it was still there, almost like it had never left, which was just really a bizarre thing to realize that it was still there.
I mean, it's interesting because we did have to like let go of our friendship and find each other again later. Like we had to like let go of the idea of what our friendship was.
Yeah.
Because it was our idea of friendship was shaped not even necessarily, it was partly us, but it was also the audience.
Yeah.
And the expectations that the audience put on us.
I mean, and let's not even get into how the audience was
Like-
constantly comparing us. So I think I also held some resentment about like the
like,
way that
you're the hot
audience-
one, I'm the funny one.
Yeah, and I'd be like, I have no value except
it's still
just
true.
based.
It's still true. Let's just
I was like, I have no value except for just the genes that I was born with.
It's true.
and-
It's true.
Yeah, it is true.
You know, that's kind of the thing of like, you know, adult relationships and adult friendships where it's, you know, you have to allow that kind of growth. And it's okay to have something and for that thing to be great and then let go of that. And if you happen to come back around and you happen to reconnect, that's great, but you shouldn't feel the pressure to do that. A little bit more equipped
Way more.
to deal with this now and discuss, you know, our boundaries and how we're feeling and
Yeah.
you know what it is that what our needs are. I did not think this was going to happen. I had honestly resigned myself to thinking that like we wouldn't be friends.
Yeah, no, me too. There is one moment, one thing that you did for me when we were younger that really stood out to me that I never mentioned to you. And
no.
I never thanked you
Oh
for
no,
it.
you have some secret thing that have you been holding something this whole time?
I've been holding it in.
Oh, this
and
is
I've
good for
never
the trailer.
expressed it. I don't know how you got it to me, but somehow you got a get well soon card that you gave to me. Okay, I don't know if it was you that came up with the idea or your mom, or if like your mom told you had to do it.
I don't know. Did a bunch of people sign it?
And a whole bunch of people signed it.
Oh,
and
okay, yeah.
you wrote a message like, get well soon. We
Wow, I'm pretty amazing.
it was like we
a
can't
pretty
wait
good
to see
friend.
you again. And that it really meant a lot to me. And I don't know why, but for some reason it motivated me to learn how to, you know, program a website, program a game. And I feel like because of that, in some ways, I was able to channel my energy to creating the things that eventually culminated in what Smosh, what the foundation of Smosh was.
Yeah, I'm sure that was like an incredibly like isolating, like horrible, like few months for you.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I could see that for sure.
You don't even remember doing it, but you know, it was for me to feel better, and it worked.
Yeah. Well, so what you're saying is that all this is because of me.
Basically.
Wow, I'm awesome.
Basically, yeah, you created Smosh.
All right, great. You said it. You said it. So one of the options that I was considering that I thought wasn't possible, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like for once be brave and just fucking say it. And we were outside on your deck, and I was like, what if we bought Smosh? And you were like,
I remember,
dude.
I was like, dude, I was
You, like-
just, and
yeah.
I remember literally
Yeah,
just
you
jumping
like
up.
jumped up and
Yeah.
you're like, I've been talking about this for like months.
I put together
And-
this insane
and I was
plan
just
in
like
my
sitting
head.
there like, Jesus Christ, man. I just like said, what if we bought Smosh? Like, why are you giving me a whole like business rundown right now?
Should we have a direct to camera moment? I mean, thank you.
become a member.
Become a member. Like, it's the only way
Thank you.
that we can sustainably
On Smosh, not on
do
this channel.
sketches.
Not this channel. On Smosh.
Yeah, only
this
on,
channel too.
Only,
This channel has a membership too. You can do both.
but like,
We were like, okay, we should try writing a Smosh sketch.
yeah, as like an
And-
exercise to see if we
Yeah.
still had it.
Yeah, and you were like, oh, like come over to my house and we'll write a sketch. And dude, I was so skeptical.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, dude, this is gonna be like, internally. I didn't tell you this because I didn't want to bring the vibe down.
Honestly, I'm glad you didn't say
Yeah,
it.
no, I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking in the back of my head, I was like, dude, this is going to be so cringe.
What
Like,
was it? What do you think it was going to be like?
I thought it was going to suck. I thought it was going to be like a slog to
You mean
like
you thought
write
it was
a
gonna?
sketch.
You thought it was gonna be like the stuff that I was making when I went independent in 2017?
You had a lot of videos that ended in you crying.
Yeah, I did realize that. In fact, commenters were like, "Wow, these are great. I love when you cry. You cry all the time." And I was like, "This really is just a representation of who I am, isn't it?"
We started writing, and like pretty quickly, I was like noticing. I was like, we're like laughing.
Yeah,
We're
I was.
like-
I remember one moment where I cried laughing for like 30 to 45 full seconds, just on the ground, like literally waffling.
yeah. I went in there just being like, whatever, we're just gonna see what this is like.
Yeah.
And I left there and I was like, I just like felt good. I was like, we just like, we didn't completely finish a sketch. It's not like we had like it totally done, but like we threw stuff on the page that made us laugh.
But I think the fact that we work in such different ways, like I'm able to really hyper focus on something and put all my energy just like back to back constantly in one chunk.
Yeah.
I think that works really well when paired against the way that you work, where
Yeah.
you are super creative
The
and
head's just kind of up in the clouds.
yeah, but I feel like you need to be wherever you are. I don't know where the fuck you are sometimes, but you need
Yeah.
to be there in order for those ideas to come up, you know?
Yeah. I think I say a lot of times like, okay, this is a really stupid idea.
Those are
but
it's my favorite
Yeah.
when we're writing and you're like, this is a really stupid idea, but I'm like,
what if we
give
do
it to
this?
me.
Yeah.
And I remember when you left or when you were leaving my house that day, you had this sense of bewilderment on your face. You were like, wow, okay. Well, that was really good.
Yeah.
It was really fun. That's really funny.
Yeah.
And you had this like, I could tell you had this oh shit moment.
Yeah, I mean that was the turning point because I needed to be convinced that this wasn't just nostalgia and that this was like we could actually create again.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be just like a nostalgia grab.
No.
Like it can't be like you remember when like I think it's fun to make references and we had our announcement video with we brought my mom back in.
Yeah.
Where it's like I think like we can make silly nods to the old stuff, but like not be like, hey, oh, here we are being if movies are real, 10.
That's
it's like
in my
so yeah, I needed to believe that it was going to work. And then once we did that, I was like, okay, I'm in.
yeah. And after we wrote that first sketch, you were so committed that you were like, I'm gonna set a meeting with Rhett and Link.
Yep. So I reached out to Rhett and Link,
Yeah.
the owners of Smosh, and I took a meeting with the two of them and I said, look, Anthony wants to come back.
Oh.
And they're like, what? Like they were really excited by that idea. Like, but
there's a caveat here.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
He's not gonna do it unless we own it. And they're like, look, we'll figure it out. Link specifically was like, I don't even like want to talk about the business part of it. I just want to talk about like how exciting this is. And they were both like very supportive. Like they're like, look, we'll figure out the business side of it. We'll figure that out. But that's not the most important thing. Like, how do we make this happen?
Yeah, then it was at that moment that we realized that this was an actual possibility. And
Yeah.
since that
Which
day,
I didn't know. I it was kind of like what if we own Splash again?
Yeah. But from that moment, we've been secretly working behind the scenes
Yeah.
to make this happen.
And we shot our first sketch
Yeah. And God, I mean,
yesterday. We shot our first sketch yesterday.
shot our first full
Yeah.
sketch yesterday. It was our first time on camera again.
Yep.
And And, you know, just like you were hesitant about what our writing dynamic would be like,
Yeah.
there was that small part of me that was hesitant about what our on-camera dynamic would be like.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even think about that. You know, I knew it was going to be a long day, and I hadn't shot a sketch like that in a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was just so fun.
It was
we were
fun.
like laughing the whole time. I mean, I was fucking tired at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it was, I was exhausted, but like had a lot of fun. We were like making jokes, we were kind of riffing, we were kind of changing some things on the fly.
It felt like we went back into the same patterns of what I feel was the golden era of us creating stuff together. It felt like we just fell right back into it, like no time had passed somehow.
And for the most part, we were exactly aligned, and anything that we needed to discuss, it was like we discussed it right there, worked out, we all agreed, and then just kept moving. There was never any sort of like conflict on
That's one of the best parts about working together, is it doesn't feel like there's any real hangups. It feels like anytime there's some kind of hurdle, in a sense it almost becomes a fun challenge to see how we can make it even better, because this is now like a limitation.
Yeah.
You know, I found that when we have limitations, our content is a lot stronger. What we're making is more interesting, it's more dialed in.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited to see that.
I'm very excited. I think that the big sort of question mark at Smosh was the main channel. It was the thing that just didn't quite have an identity. And I'm very excited for this main channel to have its identity again.
Yeah.
Being sketch comedy with you and me, and the Smosh Pit and Smosh Games channels. I love what we're doing there. I think that there's so much more potential in games that we're working on, and Pit's incredible, and we're doing more things there. And
those channels really found their footing.
this had to happen.
I agree.
I really feel like it just like,
in a weird sense,
like the timing, it's freakish.
Yeah.
How good this timing has been. And it just like makes me think like this just had to happen. Like there's no other way.
And I'm so excited to see what we can do now that we have that full creative control of everything again.
Yep. This is like the logical like conclusion to everything that's happened. And now we just get to create comedy again. You know, I know this is something that you've been very clear, like, you know, this channel fulfills a certain part for you, but there's a certain creative kind of sketch comedy side of you that you feel like you haven't been able to scratch that itch, right?
Yeah, there was this kind of void
Yeah.
in my heart of not being able to fully express myself, because this channel does a lot for me. It allows me to express myself and be things that are completely different than Smosh ever could have allowed me to do. But there's still that part of me that
You can't make butthole jokes on this channel.
yeah, I mean, when it's appropriate. Maybe
Butthole
not
comedy is like low on the list.
Yeah, maybe
on
not with
list.
the kidnapping survivors or school shooting survivors, but certain, you know, being able to just f around and be silly and not take life too seriously and find the comedy in everything, and being able to spin some crazy idea into something so much bigger and more expansive than what it looks like. It's
what we're saying is that what the work that we do at Smosh is very important to the world and
life-changing.
Yeah, and if you don't watch it, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, don't be a piece of shit.
Don't be a piece of shit.
Subscribe to Smosh
and become
our
a member.
New channel, and become a member.
Yeah,
and you'll get bonus content.
Yeah, good.
I feel like we got to get the hug in now.
Are we gonna do? Are we gonna do the low hug? The low hug?
Okay. No, but for real.
We gotta get it in the. We gotta get in the shot.
Oh, we're full.
All right, let's rotate.
Are you doing it?
Rotate. We gotta show it.
So we get the butt from all the butt angles.
There you go. See?
I don't know what this is, but
Is
that
that
our.
our? Just did a dance.
Was that
Somebody's gonna write a fanfic about that. Let me kiss afterwards. I truly think like this is the biggest thing that I think I've ever done, and I am so scared. And but I know that this is the way.
It's going to go well. It's going to go well. And even if it doesn't,
look,
it's so
even
much
if
fun.
it doesn't do, and this is the thing, like even if it doesn't do well, I know that this is the right thing.
I agree.
And if we burn it to the ground, I am happy to do that with you.
I appreciate that. I think it was the sweetest you've ever been to me.
Oh, okay. I mean it. Let's burn this to the ground.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Great. I'm starting an OnlyFans.
Yeah?
No.
It's okay if you do. I
just
would
bad.
subscribe just to support you. Please don't start the fan fictions again.
Oh, yeah.
Are the fan fictions going to start again?
I'm not opposed to it.
It did boost my confidence.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I especially loved when they would kill our girlfriends in the fanfics.
Oh, that was
and
the
then,
best.
And then we would get together.
Yeah, because that was the
That
secret.
that was tight.
That was the only thing holding us back
That
from
was-
expressing our true selves.
Yeah. It was, yeah, it would be like, yeah, our girlfriends would die in like a horrific car accident, and then we'd be consoling each other, and we'd be like, wait.
Yeah.
It'd be that, or they're like new to town. And it's like, oh, I want to be your boyfriend. And then you'd come in and be like, back off, she's mine.
Or we would be having fun with milk.
Dude, do not mention the milk fanfic. Please, for the love of God.
I'm just not denying history. I'm not denying facts.
No, it's true. It's the infamous milk fanfic.
Anyway.
We're going to expose a whole new generation to the milk fanfic. You realize that, right? You feel okay about that? You feel good about that, Anthony?
No, you should go look up Goat's Ear Blue Waffle instead. You'll feel
It's
better.
probably less
than
bad.
that. Yeah.